Sam here, and I'll be doing the Insights video for Wednesday, July 22nd, 2026. So I'm still got about 3 hours to go before the market closes. We got some big earnings coming up after the bell. We got some Tesla, we got a little bit of Google coming up, and then we get Intel tomorrow. So pretty big earnings to start the really kick off the earnings season in earnest. And I just finished making the premium video for the folks in the Mastering the Trade room, and it was basically the same thing as it's been because we remain kind of stuck in this wide range box here on the indexes. So what I covered really was just what I would be looking for to get us out of this box, and let me actually just go ahead and show you the one level that I'm personally anchoring to that would be kind of my over-under. So that level is actually on the Qs. So the Qs here, I've covered this signal in the last Friday video, so you can definitely just check that one out. It is on YouTube. But usually when the Qs go into this orientation right here, where it has a negative crossover on the true momentum, it hasn't really ended well. It can go higher from that signal. Overwhelmingly, most of the time it needs an arrow here on the high-low to do that. It's hard to go up when both of these are in double red, but it can go higher. But it usually, what we have seen in the past is that even if it goes higher, it does end up actually pulling back in quite a bit. And we do have this condition now, and it is locked in place for now, right? So the level that I've been looking at here on the Qs is going to be to measure this triangle, the height of this triangle. This is a very clear swing. And if you measure that out, your 618 comes in at 710, right? And so what I'm anchoring to here on the Qs is going to be 2 consecutive closes on the QQQ, daily closes above 710. If it can get 2 daily closes above 710 on the QQQ, I do think this thing can actually have kind of a false breakdown, a little bit of a trap there, and then a launch that way, right? Now again, it's very important that, at least for myself, that it closes twice above 710 to unlock this. If it doesn't do that, there's no secondary conversation to have on that one. Here's what I'm seeing on my sheet. So this is a sheet that has all the scores for all the time frames that I care about, as well as all the squeezes that I would typically look at. And here on the sheet, you can see that the values here are mostly neutral. Blues are neutral up, grays are just neutral. So you're seeing a lot of grays here, a little bit more blue than yesterday, but lots of grays and blues. These are these are positive numbers, I should say, not bullish necessarily, although they would skew more bullish because they're positive numbers. So these are all positive gray numbers, right? These are all positive neutral structures. But really what I want to show you guys here is the number of squeezes found in all of the indexes all at once. And not only is it like a daily squeeze, but then there's 3-day and 2-day squeezes on a lot of different things, right? So, this is a very high value spot, and of course, you can maybe surmise that by the gigantic triangle here, that there's going to be a lot of squeezes. So the way that I'm looking at it, or at least the way I explained it in the premium video, is 2 consecutive daily closes, in my opinion, 2 consecutive daily closes above the 710 level on the QQQ unlocks a potential blow-off top, triggering all of those squeezes and triggering buyers to buy into this pattern, right? If you do not get 710 2 X's in a row, then something else will happen. But that's the level that I'm anchoring to at the moment. So I wanted to take some time in this video to just show you a couple of things that we're trading in the room. So I was looking to buy some JPM. I think Taylor bought that yesterday. So he went ahead and clicked the button and is now money ahead. But it's still a good setup, and I still think it's a setup worth buying. So here on JPM, nice little pullback buy there, no big deal. You'd like to take the top off this thing, and you'd like to push this into 360 on JPM. So there's already a trade out in the room on that one. One that I picked up today, we'll see how much I like it because again, a lot of the air is being sucked up today by semiconductors, which is usually the case. But in the event that the market is slow, or in the event that the Nasdaq has a dip, hold your laughter. In the event that the market is slow or that the Nasdaq has a dip, I did go ahead and pick up some Merck today. I did the 125, 132 call debit spread for next week, putting it in front of earnings. One dot squeeze here, just kind of a straightforward squeeze. May or may not work depending on the market. If the market gets really bullish on tech, I don't think this is going to work. In the event that the market chills out a little bit on tech, I do think it'll work. One that I want to put on your radar here that I'm sure already is going to be SMH, which is the semiconductor ETF. So this one's trying to give me a buy signal as of today. Now it's a very weak buy signal, but it is a buy signal, and it is one of the stronger expressions of the thrust signal. So the thrust signal is right here. And you see how it has a little bit of an Easter egg here where it says thrust plus SS. That's something that I would be looking at as a potential slingshot. That's what SS stands for. It stands for slingshot. And this is kind of a bozo pattern, right? I think a lot of folks are like, oh, it's a giant head and shoulders topping pattern, day one kind of trading. And these just don't work in major stocks where everyone's looking. I have not seen them be reliable in big stocks. So I understand the pattern is ugly, but that's actually potentially a benefit for this idea. And then, of course, you got your slingshot HiLo down there. If it's going to work, it could actually be through NVDA. So NVDA started getting a nice bit of action today, and it certainly has the potential that it could actually go ahead and just launch from here, right? This pattern is starting to get a little bit more constructive. You're breaking back above some really key levels here, right around 212, 213. And if the market is going to have something that carries water for it, why not NVIDIA? I don't see the head and shoulders patterns work, but I do see the inverse head and shoulders pattern works. And in this case, that one is pretty clean on NVIDIA. So JPM, Merck, SMH as a whole, and NVIDIA. Of course, make sure you choose the right market for the right trade. I think if you have a slow, dull market, then JPM and Merck are going to be the go-tos. And if you have a faster market, then I would look for NVIDIA to carry SMH into the promised land. So tonight, our best trader on the roster, Mr. Henry Gambell. Look at that handsome face. He's going to be doing a webinar on one of his preferred strategies, which is the unbalanced butterfly. It is one of the best strategies that I've ever learned from him. It's one that I use all the time. We see him use this strategy all the time in the Mastering the Trade room. And now that there's 3 weekly expirations for stocks and then 5 for the SPX, this strategy is just one of the mainstays for high probability and low risk trading. And if that resonates with you the way it resonated with me, I would love to see you show up for the webinar tonight. Check out the link simplertrading.com/0DTE-income and come learn from one of the best in terms of putting one of these strategies in your toolbox. Hope to see you there, guys. Cheers. Hey traders, this is Sam with Simpler Trading. I want to thank you for watching today's video. Hopefully you found the information in it helpful. If you did, leave us a like, leave us a comment. It really does help us out with the algorithm. And if you want to see us trade live with our own real money and be part of the community, come and check us out at simplertrading.com.